I mean, it's maintenance.
No.
I'm glad.
Yeah, she would.
No,
Okay. And so it come through the speakers, though.
I don't think it, no, it's not.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We will go ahead and call to order the March 9th, 2026 Fiscal Court. If you would, let's all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda, we're going to ask for Darrell Blair, the auditor with Wells & Company, to do a presentation of our fiscal year ending June 30, 2025 audit. We want to be respectful of his time. This is a bit of a busy season for our auditor, so.
My name is Darrell Blair. I'm a certified public accountant. I'm here to present the audit of the Johnson County Fiscal Court for the year ending June 30, 2025. You guys got your audit reports. With independent auditor's report itself, we have audited the accompanying statement of receipts, disbursements, and changes in fund balance for every quarter basis of Johnson County Fiscal Court for the year ending June 30, 2025. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements referred to present fairly in all material respects the receipts, disbursements, and changes in fund balance for every quarter basis of Johnson County Fiscal Court for the year ending June 30, 2025. You guys would turn over to page number 6. This here is your statement of receipts, disbursements, and changes in fund balance. Again, I want to just go over the general fund because all your other funds is restricted for a specific purpose. Receipts total $5,339,976. You have total disbursements $5,313,335. For excess of receipts over disbursements before other adjustments to cash, $26,641. Then we have other adjustments to cash. We was able to transfer in from other funds, and the total other adjustments to cash was $2,322,276. Gives us a net change in fund balance, $2,348,917. And we have an ending fund balance, which is your cash and bank balance, $5,150,640. Again, this is for the year in June 30th, 2025. So you guys done a really great job managing your money this year. Was able to operate in black, and was also able to increase our cash almost by 100%. If you guys would turn over to page number 53. We did have one finding this year. Next to the bottom, section 2, 2025-001, failed to pay statutory maximums. In addition, the fiscal court failed to pay the required amounts for statutory maximums to the judge, clerk, and sheriff. Our recommendation: the payroll clerk needs to obtain these necessary schedules in order to calculate the correct payroll for all elected officials. The next page, your guys' officials' response. We will make sure that at the beginning of each calendar year, before the first payroll check is issued, that we review all necessary schedules and paperwork to make sure everything is calculated and paid correctly, effective October 31st, 2025. You guys have any questions?
Questions for the auditor?
Again, you guys done a really good job this year. She was able to operate the black. Most of the counties out there nowadays struggling, so for you guys to do that, that's been a pretty good accomplishment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Darrell, we appreciate you guys. Darrell's got a good team, comes and takes care of things very well for us, so.
Thanks, Darrell.
Appreciate it, Darrell. We just need a motion to accept the audit as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Click. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we want to have a few announcements for our meeting this evening. One, I wanted to update, I mentioned last month about the FEMA repair that has been approved and obligated for Stone Cold Road off 172. It's probably one of the largest, if not the single largest FEMA project that we've had. That's, at this point, it's about a $600,000 single location project. But we have been, actually it's almost 700,000. But it appears that we will begin that repair on around the 1st of April. We will put out a public service announcement as the time gets closer, when the contractor can more confirm the exact date. We want to try to give everybody a heads up that we will be doing that, hopefully starting that around April 1st. The road will be closed for 3 to 4 weeks, but they are going to accommodate the bus schedules. So we've already been in contact with the bus garage about their schedules, and so we'll be working with them to make sure the buses can get in and out in the mornings and the afternoons. So Stone Cold Road repair hopefully will begin around April 1st. We have a few community events.
Oops, sorry.
In just a moment, we'll have a few community events. The first one that we want to mention is on March 21st, Saturday, March 21st, is the Van Leer Chili Cook-Off 2026. So if you have an opportunity, even if you do not have an entry, it would be great to support their effort up there. It's a fundraiser for the Coal Miners Museum. They're also having a rook tournament and other things, but that'll be on March 21st. Sign up is from 3 to 4. Judging is at 4:15. So if you have an opportunity to support that, we would highly encourage it. Next is a couple solid waste items to announce. The first thing is the waste tire collection event. So every third year, Johnson County, in partnership with the Kentucky Division of Waste Management, hosts a waste tire collection event. This year, our event will be from April 9th through the 11th, and this is one where that folks can bring all tires to this, except for those that are tire retailers or salvage yards or recycling facilities are not eligible to participate in this. But we normally have a residential tire program that kind of goes as an ongoing program. Well, this is a waste tire collection event that the state hosts every 3 years with our partnership, and that will be April 9th through the 11th. We will be receiving at the industrial site at Hager Hill, as we have the last 2 times. So please make plans for that. It's a great opportunity, and no cost to the community to participate in that, so we highly encourage folks to participate. We end up with a lot of tires in our streams, and this certainly can help mitigate that. The next item is the 2026 Anti-Littering Student Video Contest. So every year, as you all recall, the Solid Waste Commission has recommended and hosted a art contest. If you remember, we used to tape them all across the front, and so this year they're doing a little bit different approach because they want to focus on education, and they believe in order to educate that videos are more effective. And so this year, it's going to be an anti-littering student video contest, and so it's open to all students in grades 6 through 12 who live in Johnson County. There's 2 divisions, grades 6 through 8 and grades 9 through 12. There will be prizes for those who are chosen, the winners in each of those categories. Both individual and group entries will be considered, so they can do that obviously solo, or they can put together a crew to do a video themselves. This year's theme is Small Acts, Big Impact, and so we're looking at a really good program this year because it focuses on the educational piece of trying to get folks to think about the impact that their decisions make when it comes with respect to solid waste. And Judy's on that solid waste commission. She's our solid waste coordinator, and she was sharing with me earlier today that everybody watches videos, whether it's TikTok, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's whatever the other media other outlets are, but videos are the best way to educate. And so that's the reason they've chosen to go this route. They're going to be 30 to 60 seconds in length. The deadline to apply is April the 17th, and then those winners will be announced
on Earth Day, 22nd.
Earth Day on April 22nd. But we always have had this program for art from kindergarten all the way to 12. And so you'll notice this program starts from 6th grade. So later in 2026, the Solid Waste Commission will be having an art contest for those K through 5 so that they can participate as well. So just kind of split up this year, trying to tackle it from two different directions. So I appreciate the Solid Waste Commission putting that program together. So please share that information if you would. Last month, we talked about some legislation that's currently moving in Frankfort that can be a big impact on counties. One of those is House Bill 557, which is a comprehensive jail funding bill. So I have shared with you a resolution for your consideration that would show the support of this fiscal court for House Bill 557. As a reminder, last month I mentioned our jail has a budget of around $650,000 a year, and that's obviously a mandated cost to us to house inmates in this entire county. And we obviously would love to have some support from the state in helping, soften the cost of that for this county. So you have a resolution in front of you that I would like to ask for your consideration and approval so that we can share this with our legislators who we've already talked to, but just to formally put this out there for them.
Make that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Click for the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Salyer. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? I wanted to mention that last week that the governor's office announced 4 counties that were certified as recovery-ready communities, and Johnson County was one of those 4 counties. So Appalachian, and this is the article or the release related to it, is that Appalachian Regional Healthcare's Reverse the Cycle program at the ARH Hospital here in Paintsville is a model program that provides peer recovery coaches for individuals upon admission to the emergency department. It also provides coaches to screen for drug and alcohol abuse and provide treatment resources when needed. It also references our public library, and Christy Terry is actually here with us this evening, so it references our public library as they provide services, additional services to all of our residents in this county as a one-stop resource hub focused on youth-oriented interventions and seeking to prevent addiction before it begins. So we have 2 programs here in our community that lent support to the fact that Johnson County is now considered a recovery-ready community. I know that we all still recognize that opioid abuse is still a very impactful situation in our community as well as many others. So it's good to see that we have these, and this is just a couple of programs that are identified in the press release, but we have a lot of programs in our community that are helping support that. The county and as well as other communities and counties across the state received opioid settlement funds, obviously through both as a result of litigation to pharmacy companies. And we've talked about that a lot and the impact of that and how we can best use those funds to address the opioid impact in our community. And so last year, with the court's approval, we created, primarily Regina McClure created a request for proposals for organizations to submit proposals for how they could best use opioid settlement funds to help the opioid impact in our community, those affected by it in our community. And so we had 3 organizations that were awarded last year with those funds, the library being one of them, our health department was one, and also eCami was the other. And I just want to share with you, we received an email from Lauren Carr, who is the opioid settlement advisor for the Kentucky Association of Counties, and Regina works with her a lot on our process. And there was a lot of thought put into it last year, because understand that these funds are auditable, can be audited just like any other funds that we receive. But these funds are even more, restricted in the sense that the litigation to which that was agreed upon to settle these lawsuits helped dictate how these funds were to be used. And the Attorney General of Kentucky also provided additional guidance on how these funds would be used. But here's what Lauren said when we were talking to her recently about our program and the RFP, the request for proposals that we put out, and how we're working to administer our funds as best we can to impact our community. She said, "I want to commend you and your county for the thoughtful approach you're taking. This is exactly what these funds are intended to do, to support individuals and families who have been directly impacted by the opioid crisis. She said, "I would also appreciate the opportunity to share this project as an example with other counties as a promising practice." So, Regina, thank you for all the hard work that you put into creating our request for proposals last year. Obviously, Lauren and others recognize that, we're trying to make the most impact in our community with these opioid settlement funds. So I just want to share that with you because we think that the organizations that were awarded last year have made an impact as they do their reporting of their impact. And there are some very humbling stories that we receive in their progress reports about individuals that have been impacted and how these dollars have helped change their life. And that's what this is all about. So just want to share that with you. And with that, I wanted to also ask for your consideration as well that, again, this program requires a lot of accounting, a lot of documentation, a lot of reporting associated with it, and administration of this. So, and other counties have looked at this also, and I'm asking for your recommendation or for your support for this tonight, and that is that we would advertise for resumes for a part-time opioid program coordinator to help us manage all of the requests for proposals, submission, all the distribution, submissions, accounting, reporting.
Work in the community.
Yeah, actually out in the community, trying to create more partnerships within our community. With how that these funds can be beneficial and have the most impact and highest impact in our community. So we would and we can use the opioid settlement funds to pay for this position. So this does not come out of our general operations. We can use the funds that we've received, settlement funds. But I think it'd be very beneficial if we could have someone to assist us with all the reporting. I guess we did the report last time, and it took Tammy and Regina and I a considerable amount of time just to do the reporting on this because you have subrecipients, the organization I named to you a minute ago, they all have to create reports as well, but that all has to be provided to the state as far as your accountability for these funds. So
It's like a dissertation.
it was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, the questions they ask, I mean, you were really having to write a lot of narrative, obviously, to answer those questions.
Was there a deadline to use those funds?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
No, but we'll be getting some more funds as well.
Yeah, the bulk of the funds came on the front end, but then there are some annual payments that are over the next.
I guess, I mean,
15 or 20
sometimes it
years.
seems like we have some things that you have a deadline by the time you have to at least have them appropriated, and there's still project stuff. I
I didn't see a deadline.
just saw, I wasn't.
I haven't seen a
sure.
deadline for it. I think more it's the proper use of the funds as it
Yeah,
is
I
the
know,
timeliness of them.
They're very strict.
Oh, I know.
Very strict, yeah. And that's why the request for proposals has been so beneficial in our
Yeah.
process because it is consistent with the requirements of the litigation, or the settlement terms of the litigation, as well as the Attorney General's guidance too.
One of
So-
the things I really don't understand, though, is why is it like a county, I know that we're over the jails and stuff like that, but why, like, it's not through the sheriff's department or the jail or something like that? Who deals with the actual issues at hand?
It's a proposal.
It can be.
Right.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, it's open to government agencies. It's open to nonprofits. It's open to there's 501c3s and quasi-governmental agencies. So that's who can be recipients of these funds. And so jails can be recipients of the funds if they have a program, obviously, that they would want to use that these funds will qualify for. Then we can certainly look at their proposal. We'll be putting the RFPs back out for next funding cycle, and probably. May or June, I think, and then we have the proposals come in July. So,
More than ours. But if we get this person, they'll be able to go out into the community and work with these, all the things that you just said, all those entities.
Well, there's probably a lot of entities that don't, like I said, don't even either, may not know about it or know they qualify, or, you gotta get creative.
That'll be good for this
Right.
person to go out. They can go to all those meetings
Right.
and be a face there to tell about the program and.
I didn't make it to the last one, but the one before the Gus meeting that they had down at the rec center, I went to that meeting, and there were, and they were, asking, if you had any information from your respective, department, office, whatever. And so I shared with them about, the settlement funds, and we had someone, contact us that was interested in getting a request for proposals this time because we had that conversation with them down there. So it's a matter of outreach and awareness to Commissioner Gerald's point is, making folks aware that these funds, we want to put them to use. We want to
Right.
invest them in the community. We just have to invest them in the ways that litigation in the AG's office has set forth for us to. But yeah, we absolutely need to get the word out. But I think this part-time person, if we can find the right person, then they would be able to carry that narrative out, and they'd be able to go to meetings and create partnerships and make more awareness of it, because we have funds available now, and we have funds, not as many going forward, but we still have funding that will still be coming in every year for this. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Could, having said that, could I ask for an approval to advertise for resumes for this part-time opioid program coordinator position?
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Click. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The last thing I want to mention is I just want to update you on the community strategic plan, which went into primarily last fall, summer, fall. We expect that we probably will have a completed report within the next 30 to 45 days of that. That's where we did all the surveys, and folks responded and told what their priorities were and what was important to them, and so we should have that report back in the next 45 days. One thing though that did come out of our just some informal conversations we had with the consultants that were contracted through the grant that we received to do this plan is they said that we needed to tell our story more, because Johnson County has a really good story to tell in a lot of ways with a lot of things that we have going on here, and we just need to do a better job of telling our story. And so going forward, I think we're all committed to doing a better job of telling the story of what's in this community, what's happening in this community, and what's going on, so that we can help keep our residents informed, but also economically is going to help folks to know what Johnson County has in order to bring them to our community as well, to enjoy what we all know as a great community. So I just thought that was interesting, as they were just like, look, you guys got a lot of good stuff going on, but you need to tell your story more. So anyway, we're going to try to do a better job of telling our story. So that's all I have for the announcements. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our regular meeting February 9th. If there are no recommended changes to those minutes, then we would entertain a motion to approve them.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Click. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Salyer. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is presentation of the monthly bills. You have your claims report as well as some individual bills as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Carla, Tammy, or myself one. Be happy to answer any questions you have. Hearing none, we entertain a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Salyer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gerald. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is approval of the transfers and financials for the meeting today and for the financials ending February 28th. If you have any questions on those, feel free to let us know. We did transfer, or recommending a transfer of $45,000 for the jail fund. And our monthly jail bill was actually a little less than we have been experiencing recently, so no complaints there. But a lot of times those reductions are short-lived, so I guess we'll enjoy it while we can. So, but we just need a motion to approve the transfers and financials.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Click. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Salyer. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is approval of the clerk's amended fourth quarter report for fiscal year 25. There was no change in the financial numbers. The reason that this is an amended report, it was simply a change in how some of the numbers were reported by line item. Is that fair to say, Sally?
Yes.
Okay. So no changes in the overall numbers. Well, as a matter of fact, the last page says that there was a posting that needed to be corrected, but it did not change the amount of dollars. So we just need a motion to approve this amended fourth quarter report.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Commissioner Salyers, or second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Click. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is approval of a permanent easement and resolution.
Could you give me some grace here just a minute?
Absolutely. You want to move on to something else?
No, I need to, so we got a, we've been working on this
Right.
all weekend, really.
Right.
And we got a new copy of it from Transportation
Okay.
later this afternoon than I was aware of.
Okay.
And Mr. Endicott brought that to my attention. So
Okay.
if we could have everybody put the one that I gave you to the side, and I'll give you the correct one.
Okay.
Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
The resolution is correct. We just have just some changes that they made.
Let me give you some background to what this is while she's handing those out. So there is a bridge being constructed to access the new Johnson Central High School by KYTC. And in order to do so, they needed a small sliver of land that is on the Judicial Center property. But that property, we had already conveyed a permanent easement to the Corps of Engineers for their project. So KYTC, Corps of Engineers, Regina have been working on this very diligently over the last few months because KYTC is eager to get that bridge out to bid. And so as a result of that, there's a process, a 408 permitting process through the Corps of Engineers that KYTC has been going through to get Corps of Engineers to sign off, because right now the Corps of Engineers holds a permanent easement for our project, right, on that, for the flood wall around the Judicial Center. So in order for KYTC to have a permanent easement on the same property, the Corps of Engineers has to release that and give them that right to do that. And I'm probably butchering this, Mike, but I think I'm telling that so far. So basically, they've come to an agreement, right, Mike, that KYTC can now also be granted a permanent easement from us for this little small piece of land in order to construct the bridge.
Right, we had to make some changes to the deed over the weekend, and so it's, instead of a deed, it's an actual permanent easement. That's correct.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
I guess, we'll both just share that?
Yeah, what the Corps of Engineers determined is even though they have a permanent easement on that land, their project is not going to be impacted by this bridge.
That's what the permit told.
That's what the permit told them. The 408 permit reviewed what KYTC wanted to do with the construction of the bridge, and Corps of Engineers said, okay, through our 408 review process, we've determined that your bridge is not going to impact our flood wall project. And so they basically were fine with KYTC having a permanent easement on that land for purposes of this bridge construction. It's a very, very,
It's really just to relocate some sewer
primarily. You can see on the permanent easement deed of conveyance, it's only 4,600 square feet. So we're talking about a 46 by 100 area. I mean, it's a very small area. So, but in order for them to keep moving forward, there's a resolution attached to this as well. No,
They got the resolution. Did you not get one?
that's okay. So there's a resolution also. Basically, we want you to have a copy of the permanent easement for your information, but all we need your approval on is to approve actually the resolution which authorizes me to sign the easement. So for the agenda item, we probably need that to be an approval of the resolution for the KYTC project to construct the new bridge adjacent to Johnson Central High School. So we just need approval of the resolution.
I make
Make-
a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Salyer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gerald. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I appreciate Mike. I know Mike put a lot of time in on that one, trying to navigate it to get it straightened out, so appreciate that very much. Item 10, I'm going to need a table this evening. This is for the opening and approving the bids for the asphalt services. There was an error in the bid package that was identified, but it was not identified in time to put that information back out to all the folks who had requested bid package, so we will not open any of those out of fairness this evening, and we will put that back out to bid for submittal at our April meeting. That's an unfortunate thing that happened, but we need to make sure we get our bidding and procurement correct. Next is open and approve bids for rail and cribbing. This is also related to FEMA and to disaster roadway repairs. And with rail and cribbing, we only received one bid for the rail and cribbing projects. I'm sorry, we have multiple projects, I think. And that was received from NATCO, NATTCO, NATCO. And that bid for the locations total is $266,380 from NATCO, and this is for, we have a NATCO representative here tonight, actually. I'm trying to see. You remember how many locations that is offhand? 4 locations. 4 locations. These are all FEMA repairs, and the money for these have all been obligated, so we can move forward with them. But it would be my recommendation that we approve the bid that we have received from NATCO, subject to compliance with bid specifications and with available funds. Make sure it fits within what FEMA has obligated us for these projects.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Click. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is the Emergency Management Monthly Activity Report. You have that in front of you. Paul is here with us. If you have any questions about that, He would be happy to stay all night with you and talk about this, but out of respect for everyone's time, if you have a question about anything particular, he'll answer questions. Paul, anything you want to highlight on this?
I'm open to anything, but I want to update everyone in the county. We had a real extensive 20-hour training class this weekend, basic search and rescue training class, and we had members from W.R. Castle, Rock Castle, Springs, Red Bush. We had one from the Lexington Fire Department, one from Powell County Fire and Rescue, two from Floyd County Rescue. So we had a really good turnout. The weather wasn't as good on Sunday afternoon, but we did do the search anyway to practice and prepare for anybody missing. We got some new technology that's going to really help us. We'll be able to track people as they go up in the hills, rescuers, and if they find evidence or something like that, we'll be able to share that with the command post. But really progressive. Something up to date on the radio systems. The sheriff's office got the repeater hooked back up. We ran new cables for the Snuffleys Tower after we got attacked by the squirrels.
Yeah, let me stop you right there in case we didn't talk about that. Our new cabling that we put up for the communications tower at Snuffley's Knob out off 460, something in that cable squirrels like, and they gnawed the cables, and not completely in two, but they chewed on them enough to damage them, and almost to the tune of about $10,000. So we have an insurance claim on our brand new cables out there, but they're replacing those as
with a different type of cable.
Some squirrel spray.
2 years, if squirrels come back. But it's a different type of material. Totally.
we're hoping that it doesn't appeal to squirrels. That's what we're hoping for.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, it's the craziest thing. I mean, Paul sends me this. I hear Mark Reed once sent me pictures of that, and I was like, what is going, because at first you would think vandalism, right? But no. I mean, if it's vandalism, somebody'd been out there doing something different, but no, this was just simply eat the coating off the cables and damage them. So, I don't know.
All the county fire departments, the last experience drill approved. All the county fire departments received mobile radios in the fire trucks. All the fire departments received base station radios. Thursday and Friday of this week, we'll be handing out the radios, hopefully, to everyone. We've got about 125 radios to hand out.
Awesome.
So each fire department will receive a allotment of them. There's a lot of stuff going on, so if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask me now or call me.
And so Motorola is actually going to program those radios, and they're going to make sure that they are communicating properly with the repeaters before they distribute them. That way they can be assured of that before they go out. So.
And I've been told the sheriff's office radios are in their repeaters, so they're going to try to install those and the ambulance for the city of Paintsville on Thursday and Friday.
So this is all just a reminder of this is a total project of about 1.1 million, or actually $1,050,000 or something like that total, but $860,000 of that came from a congressional earmark through Congressman Rogers' office, and then the rest of the funding came from single county coal severance. But it completely updates our communication system among our first responders, and that also includes the updates at the towers as well and the units. So it's a yeah, it includes the city, as Paul mentioned. The ambulance service will be getting theirs upgraded too, but it also included upgrades to the city services as well. So it's comprehensive. I mean, it's countywide, it's comprehensive, and it's a game changer for first responders and communications, right, Paul?
Major. I mean, even with this radio system, if we're trying to land a helicopter, we push one button and it gives us the GPS coordinates. If we're out searching for a lost person, we've got GPS coordinates to be able to communicate to others. It's just modern technology.
Yeah.
Best around.
Yeah, and that's the reason it was really good to have it all in one project, because when we first requested the earmark from Congressman Roger, Regina made the point. She said we can accomplish this through 4 or 5 different funding sources or 4 or 5 different application periods, but by the time you get all that processed, some of your original equipment may start to be outdated at that point too. So this allows us to do it all at one time. So this is a really, really big project. Puts our emphasis on public safety here in the community for sure.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking care of the wreck in a very professional manner and sacrificing what you did the other day. My sister their company, Jackson Propane, they lost one of their coworkers, and they appreciate all the work y'all put forth.
It was a difficult situation, first one in 41 years of my fire service, and, you know, it's difficult for the firefighters, it was difficult for families, it was difficult for everybody. It was a 9-hour ordeal.
It was very long.
Before we even cleared up, we had another accident, less than a half mile down the road, knocked out telephone and power poles, so the road got shut down for another 2 hours, so the
Yeah.
road one was shut down for about 11 hours.
Busy area there, yeah.
Very long night.
Yeah, thank you all. Thanks, Paul, appreciate it. Thanks for all the work you and all the first responders in our community. I just need approval for this activity report, please.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Click, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Salyer, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I have one item under other, and that would be approval of the sheriff's fourth quarter financial report. Just need approval of that, please.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Click. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Before we go to executive session, is there anything from the court? No? Anything from those in attendance? We appreciate Paints Utilities being here. Good community partner for us. Bob and Pack and Matt Spradlin are here. All right, then nothing else. We will entertain a motion to go into executive session for purposes of discussing the possible acquisition of real property.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Salyer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gerald. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?